The last few months have been consumed with discussions around the OMH vaccination program, definitely December and January. We received our first vaccination doses December 17th, and we administered our first doses December 18th. So it's been a whirlwind, and I can tell you what that meant to me. It really meant hope. Hope that probably, maybe, we actually have a mechanism that's going to alleviate some of the anxiety and the disruption and the uncertainty that's been with us for the past year. And that's amazing. I'll also tell you, in this myriad of feelings, that there was also quite a lot of pride there too, because we had staff members who stood this vaccination program up with very little notice in a really brief period of time and knocked it out of the park. They did a great job. And then finally, I think there was pride because we actually had employees and staff members who stepped up to the plate and said, I want to be the poster child. I want to be the person who actually says, give me the vaccine so that others will do the same thing, because I'm here to protect myself, my patients, and my families. Amazing. As of January 29th, which was last Friday, close of business last Friday, we had actually administered 1,727 vaccines, of which that amount, 1,231 were first doses and 496 were second doses. And so that's quite a lot of work in a really brief period of time when you think about it. I think the great thing to remember here is that this is an opportunity to care for yourselves and your families, and as you contemplate getting the vaccine, whether you're going to do it or not, because let's face it, we didn't make it mandatory. If you're eligible, you get to make a choice about whether you want it or not. But why would you want to get it? You would want to get it because it benefits you and it benefits your family. We're a closed distribution center, so we very much focus on our employees. Out of necessity, as a closed distribution center, that's what you do. And so we provided the vaccine to our employees first, and then made the decision that that risk that our employees see every single day, that our medical staff and our providers see every single day of COVID, that same risk is then being transferred to their families when they go home. So we opened it up to their families as well. So as you make decisions about whether or not you're going to have a vaccine, I would quite simply take that into consideration. So I got my first dose January 4th. And I didn't get it on December 18th because I wanted to make sure that those who needed it the most, and that's the frontline staff, that they received it first. I wanted to be an example too, to say, I'm not afraid of this. In fact, science tells me that this is a good thing to do. And if we do it for ourselves and our families and our patients, then ultimately it will benefit the community as well. I got my second dose January 22nd. And with the first dose, I had a little bit of pain at the injection site. I had a little bit of a headache, nothing really that stuck with me for any period of time. With the second dose, I had, I'm going to call it malaise. But that was over within 24 hours. So the symptoms that we hear about, I know that it's different based on the individual and your own experience, but for me, it really wasn't terrible. And I mentioned this at a town hall. We had a town hall a few weeks ago that focused on the vaccine program. And I mentioned at the town hall that it's liberating. You get that second dose, you get the first dose, and it's liberating. For me, I had put in place personal restrictions and my own restrictions, but I knew that it was the right thing to do and it was the safe thing to do. I have a fairly large family, and so we have not been in a family group gathering in more than a year. And that, I'm sure, like many of you, but that is gut-wrenching for me. I've seen my family, but I've seen them one on, one off, a birthday here. The Thanksgivings and the Christmas we didn't do. And so it is liberating to know that perhaps this is the mechanism that's going to allow us to do that again. That's exciting. So as you look and determine whether or not you're going to get the vaccine, I would just encourage you to do that. Again, it's your choice, but simply said, do it for yourselves, do it for your family, and do it for your patients. And as you make those decisions, there are a ton of resources out there, including UNC Health, North Carolina DHHS, the CDC. They also have wonderful information that perhaps will make you feel more comfortable as you determine whether or not you're going to get the vaccine. And then finally, don't forget that we have the Onslow County Health Department, who have been great partners throughout this pandemic and are doing a wonderful job for Onslow County. I can't leave out social media. So social media will have a lot out there too, but what I would just ask is that you fact check and make sure that that information that you read on social media is as accurate as the science lets you know with regard to information on these vaccines. So that's my PSA. I want to make sure you got the public service announcement, make good decisions, and be safe and be healthy.